Hello there, welcome. I'm Mark Thomas and I'm the minister at Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in Blackwood. Thanks so much for joining me on this daily opportunity during Lent to read a Bible verse together and to ponder and pray. So today is the 12th day in Lent and it's Tuesday, and I'm encouraging you to look at a verse in Luke chapter 7. Luke chapter 7 verse 34. Before we read that verse together, I like to light a candle as we gather in this way. So if you join me in doing that, let's do that now. Let's light our candle and read this Bible verse together, knowing that many others across our area and friends that we know will be reading the same verse today. So Luke chapter 7 verse 34. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and you say, here is a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. In this verse, Jesus is repeating the accusation of the religious leaders. As far as they were concerned, it was an insult to be called a friend of sinners. It carries a taint of guilt by association. But Jesus almost glories in that title. Indeed, the next thing that happens in Luke's Gospel, as you see it on the page in front of you perhaps, is that Jesus welcomes a notoriously sinful woman. So much for guilt by association, Jesus seems to embrace it. Ultimately, Jesus took our guilt entirely on himself as he died in our place on the cross. God made him who had no sin to be sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. Here is the true friend of sinners, and his cross is the ultimate act of friendship. I found a friend, oh such a friend, we might sing. Well, today we're going to reflect upon his friendship for us. So, less of a prayer, more of a meditation on what makes Jesus such a great friend. So in an attitude of prayer, hear these words. If kindness and love are what you seek, there is no one as sweet or generous as Jesus. If comfort and pleasure are what you desire, there is no one. When the soul is surrounded with a multitude of perplexities, there is no one who can so much delight, refresh, and raise our souls. If power and majesty, with the ability to defend from injuries and revenge wrongs, signify anything to poor, fragile people such as ourselves, there is no one yet who has ever overcome Jesus. For who ever contended with God and prospered? If vigour and care in all our affairs can entice a helpless sinner, there is no one who will take more care of us and do more for us than Jesus. If freedom of access, despite the infinite distance between us, signify anything that might commend a friend, there is no better welcome for a poor person such as us than at the house of the mighty Prince. If faithfulness in the greatest of difficulties, raise the esteem of a friend, no one has ever trusted Jesus and been let down. There is no one who can give a kingdom as a token of love and give everlasting glory and heaven except Jesus. Do pity in misery, sympathy in suffering, compassion in distress, endear and commend a friend? Well, there is no one more tender-hearted than Jesus. Are honours and promotions such great things? Jesus will make his chosen people kings and priests, setting them on thrones and commending them before the whole world. Is suitability a consideration to make this match? There is no one better suited to satisfy our desires than the Infinite One. the poor simple creatures who have undone themselves by their folly and indiscretion, need a wise counsellor to untangle their sad intricacies. There is no one among the profound politicians and grave sages of the world to be compared to Jesus. There is no one who can stand by him, for God alone is immortal. Is not such a one worthy of seeking? There is no one who ever did more for us than Christ. Would it not be true wisdom indeed to make such a sure friend ours? And his name is Jesus. Those are some words that come from an old Puritan writer whose name escapes me, but he really captured the essence of what friendship of Jesus means for him. Well, thanks so much for joining me. Do go and feel free to read that verse in Luke chapter 7 verse 34 again, or even the wider context which reveal and illustrate the extent of Jesus' friendship. So, until tomorrow, do take care and God bless.